Hey guys, welcome back to Discover SPRINGFORD. I'm really excited about today's episode because I'm sitting down with Lauren Pellechia, the owner and head stylist of Salon Pazza Bella. I'm Geoff Desiato, a local realtor, aspiring actor, and transplant to the Springford area. And I'm on a mission to find the best that Springford has to offer. I'll be interviewing local business owners, civil servants, and other prominent members of the community to find out what makes Springford a great place to live, work, eat, and explore. I invite you to join me on my journey as I discover Springford. Lauren, thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Really appreciate it.
I don't waste much time getting into the conversation, or at least I don't try to. So why don't you let us know a little bit about yourself personally, where you grew up, and how you worked your way into the salon industry.
So I originally am from Harleysville, and I grew up there. I went to Satterton High School.
Oh yeah, my nephew and niece and nephews go there.
Okay. So not far. I feel like a lot of people from this area think it's further than really what it is.
Right.
I live in Schwanksville right now. So I graduated high school. I decided that I was going to go to college, do the college thing, and I went to Montco, and then I went to Gwen and Mercy.
Oh, okay.
I guess it's university now.
Yeah.
It was college. I wasn't quite sure. I have always worked in a salon since I was 14.
Oh, okay.
And I wasn't quite sure if I really wanted to do hair. Mm-hmm. And plus, at the time, there was pressure to go to college and to get a degree, and then later down the road, if you wanted to do something else, you could do that. So all through school, I worked in a salon as just an assistant. Mm-hmm.
Was it a family friend or just a local salon?
Yeah, just a local
Wasn't
salon.
like you came from a long line of stylists or something. Yeah.
No hair in the family at all. But it turns out me and my brother works here too. He's a barber.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I don't know where we got the hair gene.
Yeah.
We got some kind of hair gene.
Yeah.
No, I just started working at the place my mom went to get her hair done. She's like, why don't you just get a job for a few hours, a week or whatever. So I worked maybe 5 hours a week in the salon. But I was 14, so I worked there and then went to school. And then once I graduated, went to Montco. I still worked at the salon. And then I transferred to Gwen and Mercy. Still wasn't doing anything with hair.
What were you majoring in at the time?
Psychology.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I still was unsure. I wanted to get my degree, and I really liked college a lot. I really liked school. So I worked in the salon. I learned so much from being there that I could do hair. Right. Because when you work around people that are doing it,
you learn. You glean through osmosis.
And I worked with a lot of really good hairdressers. A lot. So I'm forever grateful for them too. Also.
They didn't hoard their knowledge and experience. They were open to share it with you as you were working there.
Yeah, but you know what? I worked for so long there. I was at the one place for 7 years and the other place for 7 years.
Oh, wow.
So just by being there, you just learn. It wasn't like I was standing next to them or asking them questions. You just kind of learn from being there and watching. And I did watch. I think if you were just there and, sweeping the hair up, I guess.
Yeah.
But I really was paying attention. So then I went to Gwen and Mercy. I was there for my other 2 years after Montco. And I was getting ready to graduate with my psychology degree. And I'm like, what am I going to do? Am I going to go get a degree, go further my education to really be able to do something with psychology, or am I going to go do hair? Well, I can't really do hair because I don't have a license. So you need a license to do hair. You can't just, let me just do your hair.
Yeah.
So I said to myself, before I go further with anything, let me just get my license and say I have it.
Yeah.
Whether I do it now or I go back to school for psychology or I wait or whatever. If I don't do it now, I'm probably not going to do it at all.
Right. Now, can I ask, just as someone who doesn't know, well, my sister-in-law is a hairstylist as well, and I never thought to ask her this question, but what does it entail for someone to go and get their
cosmetology license?
So it's 1,250 hours
Oh, wow.
of school.
Wow, that's a lot.
So the
Real
first,
estate's like 60, so you don't need to be smart to do real estate. Sorry.
Well,
Yeah. That's the stereotype too. So.
yeah, we can. So a lot of it, I'm unsure. It's either 250 hours or 300 hours when you first start. You have to do
like of actual hands-on. Oh, bookwork.
Bookwork,
okay.
yeah. And you work on mannequins and all that. And then
Yeah.
I think, don't quote me on these numbers, but after that, then you're on the floor working on people. So it's only a few hours
that's at
a day.
like a cosmetology school.
Yes, that's at a school. So the school I went to was in Ambler. Now there's the one right in Trapp. They didn't have, that wasn't there when I started.
I knew there was one in Lansdale.
And there's one in Lansdale also, but
I don't know if it's still there or not. But
that is still there.
Yeah.
But with my work schedule, and I liked the one in Ambler had school on Saturdays.
Okay.
So Saturdays was a full clinic day.
So it was more packed into
more
one,
like hands-on, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be with the client, and I wanted to do the hair.
Yeah, did you find it tedious, those early hours, since you had been around the salon industry for so long? It was kind of like going back to the drawing board a little bit. Yeah, I can imagine that would have been like...
I mean, it was different because it was actual bookwork. Like, I kind of learned from, like, backwards, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I learned the practical stuff and the real life stuff first, and then I went back and I learned the bookwork.
Like the why behind why you cut it this way or you lay it this way. And,
exactly. Like the science stuff, because we also do nails too.
Okay.
Cosmetology takes on everything. So you do nails, skin, and hair.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of learned like backwards.
Yeah.
So really, the bookwork stuff you don't really do too much in the salon. So the frontward stuff for me was the stuff that was the most important. So that's why I was able to go in the salon and kind of do it.
Yeah.
Just being out of school. And that was a challenge that I had. Because in this industry, somebody right out of school, they had to be trained and, be here on the floor and watch just as I did.
Yeah.
Maybe not 7 years, but, a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's so different than, going and sitting in a classroom and coming out and doing it. There's a difference between a mannequin and a person.
Exactly. Yeah, I was going to say, like, just in the personal, interpersonal interaction, that's something that does not come natural to a lot of people.
And it doesn't. And that comes with time, with experience. Yeah. If you put the work in to do that. But... so anyway, that's why I chose that school.
Okay.
Because we had more clinical hours that I really wanted to do, and I knew how to do. So.
And so then you put in all that time, and I would imagine you started working at another salon. You didn't just decide to start your own from day one, right? Yeah. No. I think that would be that would have been very.
I wanted to, and I.
Courageous. Yeah.
I thought about it,
did you
but
really?
I didn't. But I didn't.
Yeah. Did you have how long did you work at another salon before you decided to open your own?
When I graduated from college, I went to a bigger salon. They had like 30 stylists.
Oh, wow.
And probably 14 receptionists.
Oh, my goodness.
Assistants, huge.
Yeah. Was it like a spa salon?
Yeah.
The mega ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was big.
Yeah.
Too big for me.
Yeah.
Which brings me to why I wanted something smaller and why I like to keep my salon on the smaller side, because I like the coziness, I like the comfort, I like everybody to feel comfortable coming in. I felt like it was none of that because it was so big. And that's just something that comes with having a big place.
Yeah.
So I was there for a year, and then I decided that I was gonna really take the next step.
Wow.
So, I went to another salon.
Oh, that's okay.
But I went to more of a chain salon so that I could gain clientele.
Yeah.
Pretty fast.
Yeah.
In this business, it's on what you put in. If you put a lot of hours in, if you retain your people, if you work late, work a lot, and you're good at what you do, and you're good with the clientele, you could build a decent amount of book in a short amount of time. So I knew that, and So I worked there for a year, and I built a book. I was busy when I was there, and I'm like, you know what? If I don't do it now, so anyway, I went on Craigslist, and I'm like, let me just see like what's out there as far as like real estate and you know, whatever. I had no idea.
Yeah, you're just kind of figuring it out as you do it. Yeah.
So I was like, let me just look and see. And I was in Collegeville at the time.
Okay.
I needed to stay in the same area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because your clientele, right?
Because people will travel,
Yeah.
but they're only going to travel so far.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't move to like, I don't know, Philly, and people follow me there. Mm-hmm. So I just looked in, I found Royersford. I actually didn't even know where Royersford was.
Yeah.
I knew like where Target was, but I didn't know exactly where Main Street was.
Yeah.
I thought like Lewis Road was Main Street. Yeah. Really.
Well, you think of a high traffic type of road when you hear Main Street, for sure.
So I never thought that there was like Main Street.
Yeah.
So I'm driving. I looked it up. I'm like, well, let me drive by. It was 340 Main Street. Kathy Calhoun owned the building. That was where Seneca Jewelers was. Yeah. So I drove by, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is cool. Like, I looked in.
Was it formerly a salon?
It was a nail salon.
A nail salon, okay.
So, I mean, really a nail salon. Like, they took there was nothing that really was in there that I needed. So, I called her. I went in, I looked at it, and I'm like, this is perfect. Yeah. It was bigger than what I needed, like, to start out for just me.
So it was just you at this time?
Yeah, it was just me. But I knew I had the clientele, and I had like polled people and said if I moved to Royersford or whatever, and people were like, "Oh my God, do it!" Like,
that's cool when you have that kind of like loyalty, support. Yeah, that's
even now, I mean, those same people that were with me then are still with me now, and that's really just amazing. And I wouldn't be here without them, all of them. Right. So, to have their support was amazing. Yeah. That was just. That's really all I needed. After I started getting some feedback and people were like, you need to do it, just do it. You know, if it doesn't work out, it's fine, whatever. Yeah. So the space was great. It needed to be done to what I needed shampooables and I needed stations and stuff like that. But in the grand scheme of things, it was set up perfectly because really it's hard to have a salon when there's like windows all along a wall. You can't really put like stations there. But since it was a storefront, you had the windows in the front and then the sides and the walls were all you know.
And when was it that you opened in Royersford?
We opened in 2012.
Oh, okay.
So it was September 2012. So we're actually celebrating our 6-year anniversary this year.
Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations.
So thank you. Well, obviously, we're not there anymore. We're here now.
Yeah, yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
But yeah, so what was some of the conversations that you had to have, and you know, what were you working like into the night to get it ready, and that, or did you have people helping you? Like, how did you go?
Well, my family,
about
of course,
that? Yeah.
my husband and my dad, my brother, my sister. I mean, I come from a big Italian family, so everybody like came and was like, what can I do?
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I'm like, well, pick up a paintbrush.
Yeah.
And everybody did. I mean, I had the vision, and my family was amazing through it all. And even still, through my journey from there to here to everything in between. I mean, you know, you can't do it alone. Yeah. Yeah, just like you had said with your clients, you know, like if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't have had the courage and the ability financially to actually take the next step. Yeah. And then the community around you helping you to actually follow through. Yeah, that's a huge part of the journey. And I think that's one of the fascinating things about these stories and talking to people is just finding out like because a lot of the stories they have different details, but like there's a lot of like parallels, right? You know, in the entrepreneurial journey, because it takes a lot of people have ideas and they like, oh, if someday I wish I could this, but then what I find encouraging for people to hear is how did you actually go from the idea to the implementation, because that may be the thing that other people need to hear to get them to do the same thing. Yeah, I mean, in that instance, I felt myself getting like nervous about doing it.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure.
And I was like, this isn't good. 'Cause once you get nervous, it's harder to do it.
Yeah, you start to doubt yourself.
So I didn't want to get fully to that point. So I was like, let me just do it now. I'm young. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
But
no, I feel like that's the wise way to do it, because you don't want to hit a milestone birthday or something and go, I wish I had. Or if I had started back then, where would I be now?
Exactly.
There's a quote that I always see. It's always around New Year's. But it says, this time next year, you'll wish you had started today.
Ooh,
or something
I like
that.
that.
Yeah, like... and,
I like that.
And you're like, oh, that's like such a good reminder. You can put it up in the salon if you want.
I like that.
I don't know who the author is, but it's good. But it's like, it's true though. It's, a year from now, you'll wish you had started today, or something like that. And
because it takes time, and that's the thing, like that. I think people forget is that everything takes time.
Right.
And even me, I mean, I forget sometimes, and I'm like, why isn't it happening faster? You know, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And when I look at 6 years that have gone by, you need those experiences in those 6 years to be where you're at now.
Right.
I didn't have that then.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't have the experience. But I wanted it then. I just didn't know. And that's something that I don't feel that somebody could tell you either. Like, I've had business coaches, and they've all helped. Don't get me wrong, they've helped in the experience, but you have to figure it out on your own, and it takes time. It takes longer than I think people really want it to take.
Yeah. And if you think about, like, 6 years in the grand scheme of things is relatively a short period of time, and
when
you've
you
already
think of it like
you've
that,
established one location, you've moved to a different location, you've done some things that people have yet to do in 6 years, and like you said, that those are experiences that you can't get from somebody else. You have to live them yourself, because every situation is different and unique, and there are overriding pieces of advice that people can help you about, like putting your head down and just focusing on one goal at a time and things like that. Those are really general, but like day-to-day decision making and things like that, those are things you only learn from doing
it. And the sooner you do it, you just have to do it.
Right.
And sometimes you just have to, like, close your eyes and jump.
Yeah.
A lot. But it's fun though. I mean, I feel like every day is something new.
Yeah.
And I would never have wanted to, like, look back at my life now and say, oh, if I would have done that when I was going to do it.
Yeah.
It would just, that would devastate me.
Yeah. I think that's an important message for everybody that might be watching. Like, if you're at that point where you're like, it's now or never, it's got to be now.
You just got to do it.
It's not...
you'll get out of it. I mean, if something happens and you don't, that's okay.
Yeah, I think that the crippling fear of failure keeps people from trying.
Yep.
And then for me personally, it's like I fail a lot. Like
everybody
but
does.
It's all about, like,
Learning
there's always
from
someone
that.
said it's not failure, it's an outcome, and it's what you do with the outcome.
That's
and how
true.
and I'm like, okay, all these wise
All right.
people that I can listen to and be like, okay, you're a lot smarter than I am. So I'm glad that someone else has a cute little quote that motivates me.
Yeah.
But I mean,
true.
that's, from, not to make it about me, but just for my real estate business, I've had several, like, what I've felt like reboots or whatever. Like, I started at one brokerage in my very first year of real estate, and it was not a good fit for my personality, anything. So I left there, went to another brokerage, and I felt like I started over again. And then moving to a new area, and I felt like I started over again. And you try, when you get desperate, you start to just throw things at the wall.
Yep, that's
and then
true.
you regret, like, oh, I spent money on this marketing or doing this, and it didn't work out, and oh, what a waste. But I look back on it and say, like, I made the best decision I could make with the information that was available to me at the time.
I love that.
So, like, I
say
can't,
that all the time.
like, hindsight's always 20/20, so I'm not going to beat myself up for hindsight that I didn't have yet.
Exactly. You made an educated decision based on what you thought was right at the time, and that's all you can do.
Yeah. So, you guys moved here last year.
We moved here, in
2017.
We moved here in September, the end of August. I guess our first day was August 29th, 2017.
And how did you come across this space here on Ridge Pike?
There was a sign. Well, this was a salon before.
Okay.
So, and I had passed here, like, millions of times. But when you're not looking for it, you kind of don't see it. And it said hair salon for... Hair salon.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I drove by and I'm like, oh, cool. You know,
Yeah.
a hair salon's available, whatever. But then I didn't really see it and connect it until I was ready to move.
Yeah.
So I basically just reached out next door. Keith Doherty owns the building.
Okay.
And I guess that was like June. Maybe, yeah, like the end of June.
Mm-hmm.
I had to be out of there in August.
Okay.
We lost one day of work. We moved the whole salon in one day. Again,
Oh
my
my
family.
gosh, that's amazing.
I have pictures. It was great though. It
Yeah.
was a fun day.
Yeah.
We had my husband, my brother, brother. He's
Yeah.
my brother and my barber.
Yeah.
Everybody, my mom, my dad, my sister, her husband, her husband's dad. Everybody just came, and
That's good, because I can imagine how stressful that could have been throughout the day, and how exhausting it would have been, and probably was physically. But to be able to have the people with you to do that's really cool.
That was cool.
So why don't you tell people a little bit about the salon itself, maybe some things that make you guys, or that stand out about how you operate the salon, or how you've made it your own, and what people can experience when they come here.
Okay. So, again, back to the big salon that I worked in, and, trying to keep things small. I like the coziness of a salon. I like everybody to feel welcome, everybody to feel comfortable. I don't want people to feel intimidated by coming here. And I felt like when I was in those bigger salons, the clientele felt uncomfortable. And they're like, oh, I really didn't want to get dressed today, but I felt like I had to wear heels. And it's like, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
I want everybody to come here and be comfortable. If you want to roll out of bed and come get your hair done, you can totally do that.
Yeah.
We don't judge, nothing like that. But still give you the same quality that you're looking for.
Right.
Education is huge, so staying up with the current times and current hair trends, but also staying with, more of the traditional stuff also. I mean, not everybody wants a balayage.
Right.
Some people just want highlights, and that's fine too. So giving everybody what they want specifically to them, and personalizing it to them without, coming in and saying, "Oh, I'm not doing that to your hair because I don't like that."
Yeah.
I mean, what good is that doing? I feel like people are coming here to a hairstylist because they want their hair a certain way and they can't do it themselves.
Sure.
So I feel that it's our job to give that to them. I don't have to like it.
Yeah.
You have to like it.
Right.
So that's huge. I feel like I want everybody to have an easy time doing their hair.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to struggle doing their hair, because really it's going to do what it wants anyway.
Yeah.
So I want to be here to help everybody make the best out of their natural hair.
Right.
And I feel like our staff, we all do that. We're all have the same vision, and that's important too.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of salons in this area, all over. And I feel like that's what pulls us apart from the other people, is that I want my clients to come in, Caitlin's clients, Kelly's clients, Joey's clients, to come in and know everybody and say, oh, I'm doing their hair, but they're talking to Caitlin about what they did last weekend and following up with that. And more of like a family type atmosphere, to where, I've had people that have made friends while they were here.
That's really cool.
Which is so cool. Like, they're friends on Facebook now, and they'll ask, "Oh, how's so and so doing?" We're off schedules now, or like, "Oh, when am I getting back on my schedule so I can see so and so?"
Yeah.
And like, they didn't know each other before they were here.
That's cool.
So
you're creating like the little local watering hole or
Yeah,
hangout, you know, while
yeah.
people get their hair done.
And people like love that.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love when my clients make friends here.
Yeah.
Because that shows me that everybody's comfortable enough to be open and to talk and to converse. And, you know, that's just comfortable. And that's what I want. That's what I want people to feel. And I hope that my current clients do feel that when they come in here.
Well, I think it's really interesting that you had the background of psychology, because I would imagine that some of that education and training proves itself to be valuable when you're dealing with people of different personalities and different backgrounds and different expectations and managing all that stuff. I can imagine that you probably end up, you know, being a therapist to some people when they're in the chair, you know.
Yeah, that's true. But also mainly because we're friends also.
Right.
You know, like, I see my clients sometimes more than I see my own family.
Wow.
So, you know, if somebody comes every month for a haircut or a color or whatever, you're seeing them on a regular basis as opposed to your family who see, I don't know, maybe you see them once a
birthday
year,
party or this or that,
or whatever. So you have a bond and a relationship with them. I mean, I've been invited to birthday parties, they've been invited to stuff here, you know, family stuff. It's amazing how, like, you really create relationships with people.
Well, I would think that, you know, we are materialistic as people. We want to feel good, that the level of trust that a person needs to have in the person who's going to be holding their very fate and their, you know, their outlook on the world in their hands. You know, like, it's important to trust, right, to have a trusted partnership with your stylist. Yeah. That they are listening to your needs, because, you know, I've seen that, and I've heard, you know, those stories where the person, like, other people may compliment them on how their hair looks, but it's not what they wanted. Exactly. You know, and that's a huge thing, because, you know, the stylist may have thought, well, this looks better on you, but that person feels self-conscious or feels like it's too bold for them or whatever. And it's really cool to hear that you really take into consideration, even though they're not the expert. Yeah. They're the expert on themselves and what they feel comfortable with.
Exactly. So I always tell people, join them in the conversation and throughout the whole time from when we sit down from the consultation to when they are checking out. Right. To tell me about their hair. How does this feel? I always have them run their fingers through their hair, because you know your hair better than me. I mean, and it's funny how you can tell by feeling your hair if it's different, or if it's the right length, or if it's too thick over here, or whatever. And I sometimes can't feel that because I don't touch your hair every day. Yeah. So I make sure that they're very interactive with the consultation and with the whole time, so that I can tweak and make it perfect for them for when they leave. Yeah. So that's important, because if I start to finish don't include them in the process, if there's no communication, I don't know. I don't know what you want. I don't know how to change it. I don't know how to fix it. So I think people really appreciate that.
Yeah, that's really good.
And that's very important to me.
Yeah.
Very important.
That's cool. So anything else that you'd like to share before we wrap?
No, just thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's been
a pleasure.
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's episode of Discover Springford. I want to thank Lauren for her time, and I also want to thank her for being generous enough to provide our viewers with a $15 off coupon as a first-time visitor to the salon. All you have to do is provide the coupon code DSF15 when you set your appointment for the first time, and you'll get $15 off. It's pretty nice. If you'd like to hear our full, unedited conversation, you can do that by subscribing to the Discover Springford podcast. You can find it on any podcast app by searching Discover Springford. If you'd like to support the show going forward, you can do that in one of three ways. First, you can make a one-time contribution via PayPal by visiting paypal.me/Discover Springford. You can also become a monthly supporter through Patreon by visiting patreon.com/Discover Springford. You can support us for as little as $1 a month. Finally, we have merchandise for sale in our online store, discoverspringford.com/shop. We have t-shirts available, as well as car magnets, which not only support the show, but spread the word. Thanks again for watching. I encourage you to come back next week as we continue to discover what makes the Springford area a great place to live, work, eat, and explore.